It's time for another episode of the Champagne podcast, and I'm here in Ambonnay with Benoit Marguet.
Benoit Marguet.
Yeah. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
And I'm really glad to be here.
Okay, thank you.
This is not my first time.
No.
And hopefully not the last time either.
You are welcome.
Can you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself?
Okay. We have a chance to farm about 10 hectares in Ambonnay and Bouzy. It's the fifth generation, so it's a transformation I've done about 10 years ago on the estate when I introduced a different approach of farming based on biodynamic. So today we are a team of 8 people, plus 2 animals, 2 horses, and we farm a way of consciousness, I would say. The way I am into my life, I do it into my work. So if I feel something is positive for myself, I can also do the same for the vineyard. So it's really special and it's great because I can do what I want and what I like. The vegetal, the vine, is a baby tree, and it has the same intelligence than us, same consciousness as well, except that it cannot talk the way we do.
Yes.
But it can transfer many emotion, many signs to us that we can listen or decide not to listen. But in the past, people were very sensitive to that. Not us anymore, or much less. When you get closer to a tree, you can do a free hug and feel all its energy and get a benefit from it. So the tree has roots and is heading towards the sky. And those are 2 energies that are also into the vines. The vine will give a fruit, a Pinot Noir, a Chardonnay, and that's the difference. But what I want to say behind this is that the nature is very, very powerful and magic. We have decided not to respect it so much, to live above it. And when I returned to the estates at the age of 33,
yes,
when I was allowed by the family to farm the way I wanted, I did a big U-turn on the practices. And I'm very happy, and they are too, all of us.
What year did you return to the estate?
It was, I returned in 98
Yes.
to help. But I was pushed by my parents to leave, to work outside, and because at this time I was very sensitive to nature, and I straight away wanted to farm this way. But they were not prepared, and I can imagine it's not a problem to me, and I thank them to have pushed me to go work outside in different places in France and abroad.
Yes.
And so I really took over in 2008.
Okay.
So 10 years ago.
And since 2012, the estate is certified as a biodynamical.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is a.
So can you tell the listeners a little bit about the difference between ecological and biodynamical, and what it takes to be a biodynamical certified producer?
Okay. So for both ecological, organic, and biodynamic, for both there is a period of 3 years of conversion.
Okay.
Where you do it for free. But it's an official conversion that allows you on the 4th year to have grapes that are certified. It's very, very important. In today's world where the communication is important, many people can claim to do something and you cannot check this. So the certification is very important. The difference between the two is it's difficult for me to say, in the sense that I don't want to hurt friends who do organic and so on and so on. We go a little bit further.
Yes.
Okay, in the approach, in the care of the vine. Basically, in organic farming, you don't use any synthetic chemical. You don't use products who get into the sap of the plant and move into the grapes, into the roots, and low down the energy of the fruit. You only use products from earth that stay in contact of the leaf, but not get into the leaf or into the sap. So it's mostly minerals. But you can go further if you wish.
Yes.
Using plants, cooking plants, do tea of plants, using maceration of plants. Stinging nettles is a famous one. You can use essential oils
to treat the vineyards.
To treat the vineyard.
Yes.
To rise the autoimmune system
yes.
of the vineyard, to help the plant's self-defend system.
Yes.
These plant treatments are really something which is a base of biodynamic. There are different plants like valerian, chamomilla, stinging nettles, horsetail. Each of them has a reaction, a reason to be, to accompany the plant, the vine, and they are very powerful. So biodynamic is another step in the sense that it's more towards the vitality. It can be organic, it can be living wine, but into organic we were looking for another dimension.
Yes.
Which is not esoteric dimension. It's really something that people were sensitive about in the past, not anymore today, but it's this connection all of us we may have between Earth and the universe, considering that we are not the only one. We are part of a whole energy, and everything is interconnected, interactive, interconnected. And so this vitality is searched through preparation of plants, mineral like silice, into some sort of homeopathy.
Yes.
So we consider the water to be very important. Into this water we will bring plants that I mentioned, and we will fix the message of that plant, of that mineral, through a dynamization. So once this is finished, you have a few hours to spray it in the vineyards, on the leaves, on the grapes,
yes.
to contribute to positive self-defense of the plant and so on, to reinforce, to strengthen the vitality of the grapes.
Yes.
Okay.
And can you see the difference in your vineyards since you started to work in that kind of way? Do you see development each year that the plant is adapting to the way you work with it now, since it hasn't been treated biodynamic from the birth of the plant?
Mm-hmm.
You understand the question?
I hope so. There are some signs.
Yes.
First of all, you can take the dirt.
Yes.
Eat it.
Okay.
Okay. And you feel different things, different flavors. You can smell it. You can have reduction of dirt. You can have opening up the taste of it. It can be in a closure or it can be opening. Closure is rather negative. You can have a dirt that is very compact, and it's when you try to put parts of it, take parts of it, it's not looking good. Okay. It still does blocks, and you see it does not breathe. You see there's no life into it. The different biodynamic preparation brought some, especially one called the 500, which is cow manure placed into horns. Horn is the antenna of a cow. The cow is a very important animal. The antenna is its connection with the cosmos. The cow has many intestines with a very complex degradation of the food of the cow.
Digestive system, yeah.
And so the manure is placed in the horn, buried for winter time, and taken out at special moon calendar days, and we use it for the soil, and it really transforms the texture and the structure of the soil. So this you see it year after year. And the more you use it, the more you see the benefit of it. And then comes the different plants who grow. After weed killers, you have 1 or 2 weeds who develop around the vines. Then you have a new population of different plants, different vegetables also who grow naturally. Wild garlic, wild, I don't know the word in English, but so all this participate into the biodiversity. It's very, very important. And finally, upper ground, we are what, 7 billion people on Earth?
Yes.
Underground, the population has a biomass which is much more important than the 7 billion people. Underground, we have some worms, mushrooms, bacteria, who represent a weight that is superior to our weight, all of ourselves. And these inhabitants work for free for us. And they are in charge of digestion, same as our body. Okay? You bring the compost, fine. These people, which I call people because I give as much consideration to them as I give to you, and I think we can communicate with them. So these worms, these people, are in charge of transforming all the food, giving it to transmissible to the roots, to the vine. And it does not happen like that. So each has a role to play, which is fantastic, which is really magic. People are not aware of that enough, of our surrounding, how beautiful it is. But everything is as a reason to be. And so the vine gives some food to the mushroom, and the mushroom supply the vine from the compost after an evolution. It's fantastic. And after World War II, when the bomb industry was recycled into fertilizer industry, we stopped that process. We brought a chemical nitrogen who skipped all the work of the inhabitants of the soil and left minerals to be taken by the vine. The vine could eat it. Most of it were going down into the water, polluting the water. The vine could pick a little bit of it, but the energy of the vine went down. The food was totally different, not the same than through all the natural process, and it leads towards a weakened plant self-defense auto system, and that was a big problem for the taste of the wine as well. It was totally different. So we were losing the terroir, and this until not very long ago. But now, since 20 years, people reconsider fertilizing, and in biodynamic, the approach of fertilizing is very special. Using that consciousness of each plant, that intelligence in each plant that is carried into the compost, and to bring a different energy, and definitely we can see the results locally in the vineyards.
Yes.
And in the taste of the wine.
It's interesting. I think we have to tell the Swedish listeners also about now you're producing around 70,000 bottles each year, depending on the weather and so on. And let's say that you were trying to maximize the production from your own vineyards without buying grapes from others. How much more could you produce, and how much less time would it take from you to work the other way around? You understand
You'll tell me if my answer is not right, but in the sense that, for example, we have a lot of old vines.
Yes.
So 40 years old on average. In Champagne, it's old. This contributes to lower down the yield. So if on average we have something like 20% less altogether with the farming and the old vine, it's great.
Yes.
But some years we go down to 50% less, and some years we have the same yield as the friends.
Yeah.
That was the case in 2017. We've been very lucky. 2016 we had some frost, difficult weather, so we lost 35% of the harvest. So,
and does it take you more hours working in the vineyard when you're treating it biodynamic than if you would treat it the regular way, let's say?
In biodynamic, as much as we can, we follow the moon calendar. So we follow the influence of the different constellations and planets that can affect all of us. The animals, the tide, our behaving, and so on. So it will affect the plant receptivity or the winemaking. If we have choose to bottle a wrong day, the taste of the wine will be very different from a good day. So that means that if we can, it's better to do a spraying on a Saturday. It's better to do it very early in the morning for one of them. It's better to do it late in the day for another one of them. So we have to adapt. But globally, France is a country where people are very attached to their way of life and so on. But globally, people are taking seriously ecology, feeling that it's necessary to come back to good sense. So I call it back to the future. It's not coming back. And more, it's possible to have workers who want to help on a Saturday, on a Sunday. It's a whole social progression. As long as you explain to people that it's a benefit for their health, it's important. And so why should we go out to work when it's raining hard? Okay, Sunday is a family day, but maybe the family feels better if we produce something better. And if the dad is not sick because he's been breathing a chemical product, you see, it's a totally different approach, but it's some sort of revolution for the good sense of humankind. And it's possible, but it's not something I do for myself. The boss who do his thing. No. We often have a technical exchange with my team. They participate into a training to understand why we do this or this. The purpose of biodynamic, their reason to be on Earth. This, which I no longer call project, but this commitment of life, this state of life, is partly social, ecologic and economic, and it's for the well-being of all of us. So yes, in biodynamics we have to work on special days or special times.
But you get,
Did I answer?
Yeah, perfect. During my tastings, I get a lot of questions about the way you work, and one of the questions is because I'm talking about that you're using horses in the vineyards. How many horses do you have? You say you have 2 horses.
Yeah.
And people asking their names.
Okay. So it's not Beyoncé or Rihanna.
No.
It's Titan and Urban.
Yeah. And is it Ardennes?
One is Ardennes,
yes,
so northeast of France, and one is Brittany, so western France.
Okay. And how old are they, and how long time have they been working in the vineyards?
We started in 2010, and this way, and now they are 9 years old.
Okay.
Both of them, 2 boys. We like girls, but if you want the horse to work, it's better to have the same sex.
Yeah, probably. Maybe for humans as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I know that we could talk for hours and weeks about the biodynamic, but this is a start.
Yeah. Just one thing. A horse in the vineyard. People could question. It has no interest, and so on and so on. Because we can do the same with tractor and go faster. Not really, not at all actually. My first idea about it back in 2010 and before was to employ someone extra. My second idea behind it was to balance the nature. I believe in the free règne. I don't know in English, 3 worlds. The mineral world, which is the soil, the chalk, the vegetal world, and the animal world, which we are part of. They are all interconnected. The horse knows what he's doing in the vineyard. He's doing it consciously. Behind him, he's got the charrue, I don't know in English. He's got the equipment,
yes,
to plow the soil,
yes,
and he knows when he touches a vine. He knows what's going on. He works with the noise. But beside that, the whole nature is made of water and elements. And for example, when a bee looks for pollen, the flower sends a message to the bee, like a frequency, like a Wi-Fi, but low frequency, so positive, not negative like Wi-Fi. And the bee receives that message saying, "I've got some, come to see me." When the bird sings, the worms have no ears. They don't hear the sound of itself, but they hear the frequency of the bird in the spring saying, "It's coming spring, you can start to come up from the underground and start your work." Everything is linked together. And same with the horse, with the plant, with the man behind him. So all this together contributes to the serenity of a location, to the serenity of La Grande Ruelle, for example, and start to build a healthy wine to a different dimension than regular farming. And forever we've been in those balance, and there's a reason for that to happen. we've been working with the tractor and we still do it, and it's wonderful, and it will progress to electrical tractor and so on and so on. But the horse has much more than a tractor to bring for the health of the nature, for the healthy grapes, and so on. So it's not just for a matter of compacting the soil. It's much more complex than that. And because a tractor is 4 tons heavy.
Yes.
You know that Champagne is a Nordic location, so very often the soils are very wet.
Yes.
And you have to go, and when you go with a tractor, you damage a lot what's going on underground. With the horse, which is 800 kilos heavy, it's a different approach. Yes. But that's not the main approach to me, in my opinion.
No. It's the whole system.
The whole energy behind it.
Yeah. Very interesting. I think this episode is gonna be very good, and people is gonna ask me about doing another one, and hopefully I will be able to come back.
Okay.
Should we try one of your champagnes before we end the episode?
Okay, no problem.
You can say what champagne it is.
This is La Grande Ruelle. That means very, very long distance roads of vine. When you start working in there in the morning, it's late in the afternoon once you're finished. And it's a vineyard which is planted in 1967 of Pinot Noir. So it's quite a deep soil of 80 centimeters of mostly clay. And that is the reason why we grow Pinot Noir on it. It's right behind the Clos d'Ambonnay from Krug. And the Clos d'Ambonnay is the location of Le Parc. So it's tuffeau, light soil. We grow some Chardonnay ourselves in Le Parc. And 300 meters on the west, going towards Bouzy, if you wish, this is La Grande Ruelle.
So it's a 100% Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
And the first fermentation in oak barrels?
All our wines, yeah.
Yes.
All our wines for 9 months of fermentation, aging. Skål!
Skål! I just get so excited. Just the sense of the wine. It's so much Marguet. I get happy all the time when this is Marguet. It's nice.
Merci. It's a work of sincerity. It's really
very, very nice.
And you feel that texture of a location of La Grande Ruelle in the mouth. You feel it, and that's my biggest happiness behind the biodynamic is that to get closer to the terroir, to get closer to the origin, to each location, which includes a special microclimate, special soil, and so on and so on.
It's wonderful. Thank you very much for having us, and I hope to see you soon again.
Okay, with pleasure, Martin.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.